Bhagavatam. We have heard the overview and then how Srimad Bhagavatam is Lord Krishna himself and the whole Srimad Bhagavatam in 1 hour. After that, first canto, second canto, third canto, fourth canto, fifth canto, sixth canto, first to sixth summary, seventh canto, eighth canto. We are in eighth canto now. So in eighth canto, eighth canto is about Manvantara. And in this eighth canto, we have heard so far about Gajendra Moksha. And in the last session, we have heard about Samudra Manthana. And today, it's a part of the same Leela. But what happens after Samudra Manthana, after the nectar came out, that we are going to hear. The next topic in the eighth canto would be Vamana Deva and Bali Maharaja. That would be next. Today, our focus would be Mohini Murti Avatara. What happened to the nectar pot after that came out from Kshira Sagara, the milk ocean. So in this, we have these subtopics. First is, Mohini Murti. How did she appear? And how did she distribute the nectar to all the demigods? And the second section would be the fight between the demigods and the demons again, Suras and Asuras. And the third part would be how Lord Shiva, Dhira, Lord Shiva, is beautifully enchanted by Mohini Murti, his beloved Lord, Lord Vishnu. So these three, this is what we are going to hear today. So coming to the first part, we have heard that in the last session, we have heard about how the Samudra Manthanam has happened and so many things have come out, right, one after the other. And at last, the nectar, Dhanvantari brought the nectar pot out. So what did the Asuras do, the demons? They snatched the nectar pot from them. And demigods, they didn't know what to do. And as usual, they went to Lord Vishnu, said, call for Lord Vishnu's help. And Lord Vishnu said, okay, no problem. I am going to come as an enchanting Mohini Murti. And I will see that you get the nectar. So Lord Vishnu says that and then disappears. And so, Mohini Murti comes, appears there on the scene. And meanwhile, the demons, they were fighting for the nectar. So they had the pot in their hands, dear devotees. The demons had the nectar pot in their hands. They didn't start drinking yet. They're fighting. They're fighting for the nectar. They, they go, me first. I should be drinking this first, not you, like that. So they were quarreling. They still had the pot with them. And then comes the most enchanting form, Mohini. She walks there to the demons, and all of them who were busy fighting with the pot looked at Mohini Murti. And the bewilderment started. So they were saying, oh, beautiful lady. Oh, beautiful lady. Who are you? Whose daughter are you? Did the providence send you to us to bewilder us? They were speaking the truth. They didn't know they were speaking the truth. Did the providence send you here to bewilder us? Oh, you are so beautiful. And we trust you. We have a little problem here. Yeah. We have this pot of nectar with us. And we want to share. All of us share it equally. But we are very restless. So can you please resolve this for us? You look so beautiful, so we trust you. Look at their intelligence. Because she is beautiful, they're trusting. The intelligence in ignorance and passion is only to that level. You are beautiful, so we trust you. So They say that. The demons say that. And what does Mohini Murti, the most enchanting lady, what does she say? Lord Vishnu, in the form of Mohini Murti, is saying, "Oh, the Asuras, see, I'm a prostitute. And learned people do not put faith in such kind of people like us. Because prostitutes, they are not really stable in their relationships and stable in the word that they give. So how come you want to put trust in me? I might be cheating you." Lord Vishnu is saying the truth in the form of Mohini Murti. He's actually saying the truth. But would that be truth for the Asuras who are totally in illusion? They were thinking, "Oh, whatever words that are coming out from you are so sweet. Why would we not trust you?" And so they would just put the pot in the hands of Mohini Murti. And then Mohini Murti says, "Okay, now I will give this nectar to all of you. But you shouldn't be questioning me. Until I come and give the nectar in your hands for you to drink, you should not question me or say a single word." Okay? Then what would the demon say? Of course, okay. So, this is the episode. Huh? Is this familiar to us? Not the Mohini Murti, but this is illusory energy of the Lord. Mohini Murti, illusory energy of the Lord. So potent is illusory energy of the Lord. So potent. Promises happiness. Our mind, if we look at our thinking, we can see how much we are affected with this illusory energy. Our mind, by default, it thinks there is happiness in this world. From the people around, from the things around, from the interactions around, something from this material world. The happiness comes from this material world. So let me put my time, my thought, and my life into anything that is belonging to this material world. But where is the actual happiness? Actual happiness is when we are with the Lord, in our loving, eternal loving relationship with the Lord. So actual happiness is when we are in presence of the Lord in the Seva, reciprocation with the Lord. This is actual happiness because we are the soul. This Lord is Satchit Ananda Vigraha and we are part of Him. So this is the real happiness, the spiritual happiness that we experience when we are reciprocating with the Lord is the happiness, right? But we struggle so hard to even understand the fact that this is real happiness. So this is the effect of illusory energy. Sri Narottam Das Thakur sings in the Nitai Padakamalare, Asatyera Satya Kori Mani. Illusion means what is not right, we think that is right. And what is right, we doubt that one. Isn't that what is happening? We doubt spirituality. We doubt spiritual existence. We kind of hesitate, think twice where to invest in spiritual happiness because we don't know if it is real. And we don't know if it is substantial. We don't know if it is dependable. So much of doubt on the reality, the absolute reality. But such a default fit in everything that is material. Isn't that illusory energy? Are we not affected? Right? So this is illusory energy. This is what Nitai Padakamala sings about. Asatya Rasatya Korimani. Bewildering illusory energy. This is how our mind also tricks. That's why we have to hear. If we were not hearing the Bhagavata, if we are not hearing the words of the Sadhu Gautamadas Thakura, we would still full uh, with full speed, with all faith, we would invest everything that we have, our life, our interest, our time, everything for material purposes. Then when we hear something like this, then we're like, wait a minute, isn't that so? The whole Bhagavad Gita is talking about what is reality. Lord Krishna is saying, Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samannitaha. I am here, this is the reality. So then our attention is brought to what is real when we hear like this. Right? So that's the user potency. And then Mohini Murti comes. And she goes to the, she's with the demons, right? And the demons are now really restless. They want to get the nectar. But Mohini Murti, Lord Vishnu, he cannot give that nectar to demons. Giving that nectar to demons is giving milk to the snake, right? So what she does is, she says, oh, best of the asuras, you are all so sober and mature. You're not in so much of a rush. Look at those demigods. They are restless. You know what? I'm just going to give few drops of nectar to all of them quickly. Get over with them. And then I'm going to come to you. I'll spend all the time you need from me here. So I'm going to go there, give this nectar a little bit, and then come back. And she very gracefully walks towards the demigods. And these demons, they're like, what is this happening? But they gave the promise to Mohini Murti that they would not question. So they couldn't question. They had to just sit there like that. And then Mohini Murti, she went to the demigods. And then she was giving nectar to all the demigods. Yeah. And almost all of the demigods, they were given the nectar. And as she comes to the end of that line, the Rahu, Asura, that was sitting there, he kind of suspects something is happening. And he thought, before all that nectar is over, I have to go sit there and get my share. So Rahu comes onto the side, to the side of demigods. And then he takes the nectar that is given by Mohini. She just gives the nectar to Rahu, and Rahu is about to swallow. Just at that time, Surya and Chandra, they will bring this fact to the attention of Mohini Murti. So immediately, Mohini Murti takes the form of Lord Vishnu and takes the form of, reveals herself as Lord Vishnu, and then Sudarshan Chakra comes and chops off the head of Rahu. Yeah, and because few drops of nectar are already taken by Rahu, the head is still alive. Yeah, and this is how Rahu becomes the enemy of Surya and Chandra, and that's why Surya Grahanam and Chandra Grahanam comes, right? Rahu ends up swallowing Surya, and then Moon, Chandra. So that's how the Surya Grahanam, Chandra Grahanam comes. So this is the pastime. Okay. And one thing here is, how come Lord Vishnu, Mohini Murti, didn't know that Rahu has come from the Asuras to the solar section and was sitting there? Lord Vishnu is all cognizant. But Acharyas say, to show the efficacy of the nectar, the Amrita, that even few drops of it, when taken, how a person can become almost immortal. So through Rahu, to demonstrate that has happened. Okay. So this is the pastime till here. And of course, Lord Vishnu, he chops off the head and then he disappears from the scene. Demigods are demons are furious. And we are thinking, coming to this point, what is this going on, huh? Lord Vishnu, isn't this thinking? Again, coming back to the last class, huh? The very plan in the very beginning, Lord Vishnu said, okay, now the demons, the demigods, this is the plan you have to follow. Now the snake mouse plan, that plan, and using the demons to get the nectar. And after the nectar came out, taking the nectar only for the demigods, but cheating demons. What is this going on? Isn't this cheating? Yeah. By this time we know. When something like that is apparent from the Lord, then we immediately know that is apara vichar. Apara vichar. Vichar is the thought. The thought that comes from a mundane plane is apara vichar. Looks like cheating, right? Then what is para vichar in this pastime? Somebody else also asks this question. What is the para vichar, right? The para vichar is generally revealed, is understood by those souls who are on the para platform. And on the same note, we have discussed in the last class, right? How Pandavas, they were having all the troubles, but they did not complain. Kunti Devi wanted more and more because they are on the platform of para. They wanted Krishna. So, what is the paravichar in this pastime? I was actually looking for the answer in the commentaries of our acharyas. I did not get a straight answer of this is paravichar for this pastime. But I tried to put the pieces together in my understanding to see what is paravichar for this pastime. Here in the very beginning, where is that? Seventh canto. Yeah, seventh canto, Prahlad Maharaj. Yeah, first, in the very first section, how Lord is impartial. There it is said, the Lord pervades the Brahmanda and operates this Brahmanda through modes and time. Right? And after that, it is said, these modes, sometimes the passion goes up, and then sometimes the goodness, and sometimes the ignorance, like that. Yeah. So whenever the ignorance is at peak, ignorance or passion at peak, then these asuras, they predominate. So their influence is more. And when the goodness is predominant, then devatas, suras, their influence is more. That we understood, right? See, in this time, when Indra, Airavata, Durvasa Muni, when Durvasa Muni cursed, and Indra, when all the asuras invaded, that's when the peak of ignorance and passion is asuras. Ignorance is rakshasas, passion and ignorance. So this is when the peak of ignorance is going up. This is why the asura bala is more, the strength of asuras is more. But Lord Vishnu is for the maintenance of the material affairs, the material world, right? So Lord Vishnu is in charge of maintaining that goodness. So it's Lord Vishnu's function to bring the creation, to maintain the creation. So he has to bring the goodness into predominance. So when the ignorance is going up like that, if this ignorance is not checked, then if goodness is not there, the material world is not maintained. So somehow this ignorance has to be checked, and the material world has to be maintained by checking the ignorance and bringing back the goodness. So this is the functioning of Lord Vishnu. So to check the ignorance, predominance of ignorance, who is more influenced by the ignorance and passion, these asuras, right? So to check their strength, the devatas have to predominate. They have to get the strength from the nectar so they can check the ignorance of the asuras and then bring back the goodness so the material world can be maintained. In order to accomplish that, in order to bring that goodness back to equilibrium, to the predominance, so the creation can be maintained, Lord Vishnu had to come up with a plan where the ignorance can come down, which means the demigods have to drink the nectar and have to defeat these asuras so the ignorance can come down and demigods can take their role and the goodness can predominate and so the creation can be maintained. This is the tattva. This is why Lord Vishnu did what he had to do. Yeah, giving that plan and getting the nectar out and distributing it only to demigods but not to the asuras, because the creation has to be maintained. And it is maintained by goodness. And who has more of goodness? Demigods. So they have to be supported. So that's the tattva behind why Lord Vishnu did what he had to do. Okay? So that's the tattva. And what is the rasa here? Is the demigods, when they call out for shelter, then the karuna of the Lord, the mercy of the Lord, that is in you. So this is the tattva and the rasa behind both the aparavichar and paravichar, and specifically in this pastime. This is Sukadeva Goswami. Yeah, he's narrating, right? And that's why Sukadeva Goswami says, how beautiful. Evam sura suragana samadesha kala hetu artha karma matayo api phala vikalpaha tatramritam suraganaha phalam anjasapur yat pada pankaja raja shrayananna daityaha evam sura asura ganaha samadesha kalaha. In this way, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, what is the potency? What is one distinguishing factor? One factor that decides, even when one factor that decides the outcome when two people are doing the same thing. Here in this case, Sura and Asura. Suragana, Asuragana. The demigods are there and demons are there. Sama. They have the same desha, place, kala, time, hetu, artha, karma. Artha, they have the same purpose. So they are at the Ksheerasagaram, milk ocean. That is the desha. Kala, they have same time, same place. Artha is the same purpose. Purpose is to churn the milk ocean. Karma, they have done the same karma. They have churned. Asuras have churned the milk ocean and Suras also have churned milk ocean. Matayo, their thinking was also the same. Now the nectar pot is going to come out. So we will take the nectar and we will become immortal. All these things are the same, both for demigods and demons. Exactly the same. They were in the same place, same time, doing the same thing, for the same purpose, with the same thinking. Api, even then, phale vikalpaha, but the result is not the same. Tatramrutam suraganaha phalamanjasapur. What is the result? Tatra amrutam, the nectar, suraganaha phalam, went to the demigods, anjasapur, very easily. Why did that happen? Yat pada pankaja raja shrayananna daityaha. It is because daityaha, the demons, they did not. Yat pada pankaja raja shrayanan. Pada pankaja, lotus feet, raja, dust, shraya, shrayanan. have taken shelter. So these demons did not take shelter of the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord, while the demigods stood. That is the game changer. That was the only difference between these two set of people. And that was the deciding factor. That's why one had the result and the other one did not. So that is the potency of taking the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So that's how Sukadeva Goswami says. That is the deciding factor. Two people may be doing the same thing, same place, everything the same. But one who has taken shelter of the Lord, sooner or later, auspiciousness is for them. Why is it like that? Again, the tattva. Because demigods, they are in mode of goodness. Goodness means submissiveness. Submissiveness to the authority. Daitya, passion, and ignorance. There is no submissiveness. No submissiveness, so there is no sharanam, no shelter. So it is our submissiveness to the authority that gives us the shelter. That's what decides if we are more in mode of goodness or mode of passion or ignorance. In passion or ignorance, there is no submissiveness. And that is why the passion and ignorance, they are called demoniac qualities. There is no submissiveness there. That is the difference. So when our predisposition is more of submissiveness, then we have the shelter. We are safe. Submissive, safe. When we are not in that mode, then we know Yatpada Pankaja Raja Shrena Naidaitya. So that's the difference between. This is why submissiveness is possible in goodness, but not in. So that's the past until there. And after that, the big war happens between the demigods and demons. And in this war, this is soon after Lord Vishnu disappeared. Then the war breaks out, and this is a big one. This happens at the Milk Ocean. The description is a lot in Srimad Bhagavata, very graphical description. And here, the sounds of conch shells, bugles, drums, elephants, big time war is going. Just to save the time, I'm not giving the description of the war there. Here, the demons and the demigods, each demon fights with a specific demigod. Indra fights with Bali fights with Indra, Mitra fights with Praheti, and Vayu with Puloma, and Lord Shiva with Jamba, like that. Okay. The fighting goes on, and the important points are here. As the fighting goes on, Bali Maharaj, Indra becomes powerful because he has the Vajrayuda. So in order to counteract that, Bali Maharaj, what he does is, with his mystic powers, he creates demonic illusions. And what that means is, same thing that happened to Dhruva Maharaj when he goes to those Kinnaras, Yakshas, yeah. They did the same thing too. The mystic clouds, illusions they create. And what happens is, in the mystic illusions, big mountains, they fell on the demigods and they were crushed. Not only that, the fireballs, they were blown onto the demigods. So there was a lot of scorching heat too. And venomous serpents, scorpions, all of them, they just fall upon these demigods And the naked demons, demons, they also fall upon. So a lot of illusory effect that can bewilder. Yeah. So that happened to all the demigods. And with the mountains, the illusory mountains that were falling upon them, the demigods, they become very morose. They couldn't tolerate this illusory effect of Bali Maharaj. So they became very morose, almost powerless, and they saw that they could not do anymore. So they cried out for help. And what happened then? Lord Vishnu appeared on Garuda. Exactly as the sun, rising sun, dissipating the ignorance, as Lord Vishnu appeared there on the Garuda. This beautiful description of Lord Vishnu on the Garuda again. Eyes like lotus petals, sat on Garuda, Pitambara, Kaustuba gems. And he had 8 weapons in 8 hands. Yeah. Just with the appearance of the Lord, then the illusory effect is all gone. And the Lord, he killed many demons with his disc. And by this time, Indra picked up his power. Okay. So Lord, the presence of the Lord, appearance of the Lord, dispel the illusion. So demons, the demigods picked up their power. And also Lord personally killed many demons. So this is one thing. How many, in so many forms the Lord comes. Lord comes to rescue his devotees. Starting from the very beginning, dear devotees. Right? From the very beginning. When the Lord said, I will, when all the demigods went and prayed for the shelter, when the Lord promises his shelter, how much he does. How much he does. He just promises shelter. But the demigods could not see what would come upon them, what kind of help they should ask, in what form the help would come. All these demigods did not know. All they did was they took shelter. And let's see in what forms the Lord came and helped. This we are seeing, we are hearing this, we are saying this because when we take shelter of bhakti, when we're taking shelter of the Lord and practicing bhakti, so many kinds of obstacles come upon us, right? In our personal, in our life, in many ways. So many kind of obstacles. Some can be told, some cannot be told. Some can be seen, some cannot be seen. And for all these obstacles, how the Lord sends help. We do not know in what form, in what way the help comes, but the help comes. Like in this case, when the Lord said he would give shelter, the Mandara mountain, they could not even pull the Mandara mountain to the milk ocean. So Lord, first of all, he revived many demons and demigods there who were crushed under the Mandara mountain. That's one thing. Second thing, brought Mandara mountain on Garuda to this place. And then Mandara mountain was sinking. Oh, even before that. We may miss many. I see a hand raise. I don't know if that is. Is everything going on okay, dear devotees? Are you able to see?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, we can proceed. I don't know why the hand is risen on my screen.
Yeah.
Yes, I got it. Okay. Yeah. In what ways did the Lord help? Yes. The Mandara mountain, first is glancing on them, bringing them back to life. And then Mandara mountain to the ocean, milk ocean. And after that, the Mandara mountain was sinking. So Kurmavataram. And then Lord has to bring the Vasuki also. Okay, that's one thing. And then after that, the mountain was wiggling. So he had to become Sahasrabahu to stabilize that. And after that, the churning was happening. Vasuki couldn't tolerate the pain. So he had to enter in as ignorance into Vasuki, as passion into demons, and as goodness into the Devatas. And as Ajita, he had to guide them. And all this was happening. And then the poison. When the poison came out, we know this particular point is like salt in the curry. Salt in the curry is not seen, not noticeable. But without that salt, the curry is not going to be tasty. Like that, when the halahalam came out, it's Lord Shiva that apparently took the poison. And what was Lord Vishnu's role in that? He wanted to glorify his devotee. Yeah. So in that way, and then after that, all these one after the other, many things came out. But the Lord already ahead of time, he has instructed the demigods. This is how you need to be. You have to be peaceful. You have to be patient. There shouldn't be any greed. Do not be angry. So in that way, in the form of guidance also, he did that. And after that, when the nectar pot came out, yeah, he had to come as Mohini Murti. And he gave the nectar too. He disappeared from there, and soon he had to come back again to fight with these demons to dispel the illusory effect of Bali Maharaj. He had to come and then kill all these demons too. So from beginning till the end, non-stop, in all directions, in all ways possible, how was he helping? Right? So when this is happening, what is Indra saying here? So as soon as the Lord came and the illusory effect is gone, Indra picked up his power, and then Indra says to Bali Maharaj, Indra says, "Oh rascal, huh? You are trying to take our positions. You are a cheater. And we are the masters of mystic powers. You are the cheaters. We are the masters of the mystic powers. And do you think you can win over us? Trying to make your way into the upper planetary systems? What do you think of yourself? Today, I'm going to sever your head with my Vajrayuda, thunderbolt." Indra says this. Bali Maharaj looks at Indra. Bali Maharaj, he is, again, Bali Maharaj is Naam ke vaste, he's in the demon family. When Indra utters these words, Bali Maharaj looks at Indra and he says, Indra, you think this victory is because of you? It's only because of the destiny. In the battlefield, even if it's the fame, victory, death, or defeat, it's just based on the destiny. It's not about you or me. And that's why learned people, they don't lament or rejoice. And you don't look like you are a learned person. You don't seem to act that way. You demigods, what do you think, huh? You think you are the doers? Oh, I'm feeling very sorry for your ignorance. Bali Maharaj is saying this to Indra. Does this remind you of something, dear devotees? Vritrasura. Vritrasura's words on battlefield. Indra, when his trust was more on his prowess, not so much on the Vajrayuda that was given by Lord Vishnu through the body of the Dichi. So what does Vritrasura say? What do you think of yourself, Indra? You think you can kill me? It's the Vajrayuda that you have. That is Lord Vishnu's potency is all invested there. Get up, Indra. Take that Vajrayudha and then kill me. So Vritrasura had to instruct Indra because Indra was thinking he was doing it. His prowess was in action. Vritrasura had to remind him it's not you, it's about the Vajrayudha. So, uh, yeah. So this was the status, Indra. If you look at this, dear devotees, we have just seen how the Lord helps us in so many ways, helped the demigods in so many ways to bring it to this point at every step. Yeah. And look at Indra. As he was all, they were all so morose because of the illusory effect. And as soon as they were picking up the strength, because of the presence of the Lord and because of the help from the Lord, Indra quickly did not hesitate to own that victory. Yeah, as if the whole victory is because of him. He did not hesitate. And that's why he said what he said, right? That um, that I will be severing your head. We have these mystic powers. We can kill you. Victory is ours. Dear devotees, here, we hear about the Nama Aparadas, right? And one of those offenses, if we recall, doing sinful activities on the strength of the holy name, that's one of the offenses. Then we may think, sinful activities? I don't think I would. Because sinful is, in our scriptural terms, sin is sense gratification. Yeah. So when we are really anxious, when we are really stressed, and we are saying, okay, Krishna, I need help. So when we talk holy name, on the strength of the holy name, we come out of our anxiety and misery a little bit. We get relieved a little bit. As soon as we are getting relieved a little bit, our thought process of what do I do to get some fun? What do I do to get some, the planning starts already. What's next to? What's next to dash dash dash? It doesn't have to be what's my next service. It doesn't come out like that. Okay, what's next that I can do so I can have some sense gratification like that. So the point here is we get that relief from bhakti and from the nama. But as soon as we get a little strength and then feel a little better, then our checklist of, okay, checklist of getting entangled with this material matters soon starts. The whole point, the very reason that brought us out from the miseries, bhakti in the nama. But on the strength of the nama and bhakti, we again start to indulge. That is what we try to do. Start to indulge. That's one thing. And the second thing is the doership in bhakti. When the bhakti is happening because of the strength of the nama, when the mercy is being given. So when there is some advancement or purification like that, then the doership, the passion is still there within us, right? So we think it has happened because of us, because I chanted well on that day, because I did that service, I did that. So I earn it. So that thinking also by default it comes because we have passion. So when we hear something like this from Bhagavatam, from Indra, we have that Indra mentality too. It's not just Indra is behaving like that, talking like that. So when we see that it happens within us, then we just thank Indra. from Bhagavatam. Oh, Indra, yes, you are mine. Then we just come back to our safe zone again, far from the doership and far from the entanglement, indulging. Right. So this is something we have to remember. Then, as we stay in the safe zone, then the nama will go on well. The bhakti will go on well. Otherwise, it goes up and down. Okay. So that's one thing. Okay. Then Bali Maharaj, he says that after he hears those words, Indra, he doesn't say anything back. Indra thinks, oops, I guess he's right. He said it right. So Indra doesn't say anything. And Bali Maharaj, he attacks, Indra attacks Bali Maharaj now with the Vajrayuda. So Bali Maharaj falls unconscious, and many demons also get killed. And finally, Brahma had to no. And one more thing is, Indra, he kills many demons. One of the demons is Namuchi. So Indra tries to kill Namuchi with Vajrayuda. Vajrayuda is pretty powerful. Pratasura was also killed with this. And Bali Maharaj was also attacked by this. But Namuchi, when he is attacked by Vajrayuda, he doesn't get affected. And Indra gets bewildered. He doesn't know why. Then a voice, an Akashavani, says, Namuchi has a boon. Nothing wet and nothing dry. No weapon that is wet or dry can kill Namuchi. Then Indra thinks, how can I kill? Okay. He comes up with a sponge weapon. Sponge is neither wet nor dry. Yeah. So he kills Namuchi with sponge weapon. That's one point. So in this way, all the demon, most of the demons, almost the entire demon, the demon dynasty was being demolished. So demigods were in that mode of just killing all the demons. Same as our Dhruva Maharaj. He was in the mode of killing all the yakshas like that. So then Brahma sees that and he sends Narada to remind them, no, enough of killing now. They got the nectar and they won the kingdom, so there is no need to kill these demons, all of the demons, and wipe away the demon from the face of this earth. So Brahma tells Narada Muni to go tell Indra, the demigods, to stop the war now, since they have already won the war. So Narada Muni comes and then tells the demigods, Indra, to please stop the war. That's one thing good about these demigods. When a command comes like this from an authority, they stop. Indra, he was going to take Kayadu when Prahlad Maharaj was in the womb. When Narada Muni says, no, though you think you are at danger, but the child in the womb is not a demon. So the faith that they have in the authority and their subordination, submissiveness to them, that's the quality that protects these demigods. They don't question when the authority comes and says this right. So that's one thing. That's the difference between demigods and demons. So demigods, they have their own faults too. Like Indra had his faults. But one good thing about them is they are submissive to the authority. They take shelter. Right? So they stop. And Bali Maharaj, though he was struck by Vajrayuda, he was brought back to life by Sanjeevani Mantra by Sukracharya. And in spite of all this, Bali Maharaj, he was very experienced in all these universal affairs. And after he regains his senses and memory, he still doesn't lament. Bali Maharaj. Yeah. Very opposite to Indra. And the glories of Bali Maharaj would come more in the next. So that is about those two sections. how the Mohini Murti distribute the nectar part and the war between the demigods and demons. And this bewilderment of Lord Shiva, Mohini Murti, Lord Vishnu, the most enchanting form. It is said that we'll go with the Katha. Yeah. So all this has happened, and this news came to Lord Shiva. He just drank the poison, and he had this poison in his hala. And so Lord Shiva heard this news that Mohini Murti came and distributed all the nectar to the demigods. And everybody was saying how enchanting Mohini Murti was. Lord Shiva heard that. Lord Shiva wanted to see the form of Mohini Murti. So Lord Shiva, along with Mother Bhavani, went to Lord Vishnu. And here, Lord Shiva offers the prayers as usual, right? When the devotees offer the tattva of their realization of Bhagavad Tattva comes out first, and then their prayer. So Lord Shiva also, he does the prayers and he asks one thing. And after that, Lord Vishnu, he prayers of Lord Shiva, right? So Lord Vishnu, he would give that boon, whatever Lord Shiva asked. So these are the two parts here. Lord Shiva's prayers and then Mohini Murti appearance. This will be the last part for today. So Lord Shiva comes and Mother Bhavani is there too. And Lord Shiva, he offers his prayers to Lord Vishnu. Remember, in the last class, we have heard all the demigods going to Lord Shiva and offered such kind of prayers which are equivalent to prayers to Lord Vishnu. And there we have discussed about how Shiva Tattva and Vishnu Tattva are like milk and yogurt. Here, these prayers are directly from Lord Shiva. So, what is Lord Shiva praying? Lord Shiva is saying to Lord Vishnu, you are the supreme controller. You are Parameshwara. Why is he Parameshwara, Lord Vishnu? Lord Shiva is saying, because you are Deva Deva. You are chief of all the demigods. You are the Deva to all the demigods. You are the Lord of the Lords. You are Jagat Vyapi. You are present everywhere, all pervading. You are Jagat Isha. You are the master of the universe. And you are Jagan Maya. Means you have entered into this universe through your material energy. Means all this universe is your material energy. So that's why you are Parameshwara. That's what Lord Shiva offers to Lord Vishnu. And then second thing is, you are supremely inexhaustible. Not only you are supreme controller, supremely inexhaustible. The third one is, you are the one who pure devotees worship. This is a good shloka. We have to hear something about the pure devotees. And Lord Shiva is also saying, he could have just said, this is your quality, this is your quality. But he's bringing the pure devotees here. You are the object of worship for all the pure devotees. Tavaiva charanam bhojam shreyas kama nirashisha vishrijyopyatha sangam munaya samupasate. Tadaiva charanam bhojam munaya samupasate. All these munaya, sages, saintly people, they are shreyas kama. They have a desire for what? Supreme auspicious. They want supreme auspiciousness. Okay, pure devotees. And nirashishaha, they do not have any material attachments. Nirashashaha. They don't have any material desires. So, Visrijyogyata Sangam. Because they don't have any material desires, they are free of material attachments. These are the two qualities of the pure devotees. Shreyas Kama. They have a deep desire. Kama. Shreyas for what? Supreme auspiciousness. That's one thing. And second thing is very conspicuously absent material desires. So there is no attachment. There is no material attachment. Because of this, Tataiva Charanam Bojam Samupasate. They come to your lotus feet. Samupasate. Upasate is to worship. That's why, O Lord, these Munaya, because they have supremely auspicious desire and have no material desires, they come to your lotus feet to worship you, to worship your lotus feet. So you are the object of worship for these pure devotees. That's Lord Shiva saying to Lord Vishnu. And everybody is dependent on you, but you are supremely independent. Again, Lord Shiva is saying this to Lord Vishnu. And you are supreme absolute. The next one is, there is Shad Darshan. Dear devotees, I am not sure if you remember this. We did this Shad Darshan in the very beginning. In the overview of Srimad Bhagavatam, we heard about 6 systems of philosophies. There, in each system, they look at absolute truth in a different perspective. Yeah. For Karma Mimamsas, it is Dharma. And for Ashtanga Yogas, for the Sankhya philosophers, it is beyond Pradhana and Pradhana, Prakriti and Purusha, beyond Prakriti, Purusha, like that. So different 6 systems of philosophies. So, oh Lord, you are seen as different kinds of end objects in different kinds of philosophies. This is Lord Shiva's prayers. So they have to be in this level. He's touching this from all aspects, Lord Shiva. Unlike Gajendra's realization is not this much about Bhagavad Tattva. These are the realizations of Lord Shiva of Bhagavad Tattva, on Bhagavad Tattva. Lord Queen Kunti Devi's realization, they are more personal realization based on the reciprocations and rasa. You are the son of Yashoda and Nandanandana. Like that, her prayers. And Gajendra's prayers are different. And here, these are the Lord Shiva's prayers. And this, look at this one. Lord Shiva is saying, so you are thought differently by different philosophers. You are unknowable. Nobody can know you. But you know everything. Also, he says the same thing as Brahma. We, the demigods, we are the topmost in the sense we are in mode of goodness. If we do not know you, how can anybody in Tamogana, in the lower modes, can know you? So those are the prayers. And after that, I have heard about this Mohini Murti incarnation. And again, I do not know you. We do not know you. But I would like to see that form, that enchanting form once, my Lord. Lord Shiva is asking this kind of desire, boon to Lord Vishnu. And he smiles with gravity. And Acharyas explain why that smile, gravity in that smile, 2 things. Lord Shiva, do you want to see that form? That enchanting form? Oh, that is generally that can bewilder the asuras. That is the form to bewilder the asuras. So in other words, Lord Vishnu is saying, but that form can be so enchanting. Lord Shiva, you are asking this. I have to give you. I have to give darshan of that form once, but you shouldn't blame me later if you are subjected to illusion. So these are the reasons behind why the Lord is um, a smile with gravity. He has the smile with gravity. And also, Acharya say Lord was thinking, it's Lord Shiva that is asking to show this form. Those demons, they got bewildered quickly. There's no ascharya in that, wonder in that. But Lord Shiva is a Dhira. He wouldn't get bewildered with the illusion. I must do something. I must do something. Then he can be carried away a little bit. So this is what the Lord is thinking. It's like, I want to pull my dear devotee's legs and have some playful pastime, a jovial, playful pastime. These are all the things that the Lord is thinking while he's having the gravity in his smile. So Lord Vishnu said, okay, Lord Shiva, since you have asked this, well, tadastu. And then he disappears. And Lord Shiva is there and with Uma, Mother Bhavani. And so Lord Shiva is just there. And he was thinking, Lord Vishnu said, okay, I'll show the form. I was expecting that he would just stand there and then turn into Mohini Murti form. Where did he go around? And Lord Shiva was looking around, and then he saw a beautiful enchanting lady walking with a ball in the nearby woods. Lord Shiva looked at her. Who is he looking at? The Supreme Lord in the most enchanting form. It is said that Mohini Murti was so enchanting and beautiful that she was more enchanting than Mother Lakshmi. Because when the Lord comes in any form, then he's the most beautiful in that form. If he has to come in a female form to enchant, then he's the most beautiful form, Mohini Murti. If he has to come as a boar, then that is the most beautiful Varaha Avatara. If he has to come from as a dwarfs are generally not beautiful, but Vamana, the most beautiful. If he has to come as a sannyasi, generally you don't talk about beautiful sannyasis, but Gauranga Mahaprabhu is the most beautiful sannyasi. So when the Lord, however he chooses to appear, he is the most beautiful. So in this way, the most beautiful Mohini Murti is running here and there, and Lord Shiva is running after her. And so and slowly Mohini Murti took Lord Shiva into the woods, where the hermitages are there, and the devotees of Lord Shiva who were meditating on Lord Shiva, they were living in those hermitages and places, and Lord Vishnu in the form of Mohini Murti took Lord Shiva to those places. And again, one more illusion on illusion. Lord Vishnu, he managed to bring in a mystic wind which blew off the sari of Sri Mohini Murti. Lord Shiva, and that is the most enchanting form of the Lord Mohini Murti. So Lord Shiva was running after her, and Lord Shiva, after this, he had seminal discharge. And there is a pastime here. You may wonder what this pastime like this. This is not mentioned in the Bhagavata, but in South India, there is one of his personalities, Ayyappa, Swami Ayyappa. So there was a demon who asked for a boon to be killed by that person who is born of Shiva and Vishnu. How can there be somebody who could be born of Shiva and Vishnu? But the demon asked that kind of boon. So in order to kill that demon, there has to be a child who is born of Shiva and Lord Vishnu. Here is Mohini Murti, enchanting form. And here is Lord Shiva. So the seminal discharge of Lord Shiva, because of Mohini Murti, gave birth to that particular personality, Ayyappa, who had to kill that demon. So that's one of the reasons behind this dance. And again, the apara vichar of this is when the Lord decides to have playful pastimes with his devotees. And this is because Lord Shiva, he didn't know what he was getting into. He asked for the darshan of Mohini. So that was a playful reciprocation pastime between the Lord and his beloved devotees. That's the reason. And then soon, Lord Shiva, he realizes, oops, so this is my Lord. Now, this enchanting lady is actually my beloved Lord. Then Lord Shiva becomes a Dhira. He doesn't get carried away anymore. And then Lord Vishnu, he appears. Mohini Murti turns into Lord Vishnu. And then Lord Vishnu starts praising Lord Shiva. So here Lord Shiva doesn't get embarrassed. He's not ashamed of. Lord Shiva was amazed. Lord Shiva was amazed at the potency of the Lord. Lord Shiva is not the one who would be allured by illusory potency. Parvati Devi, she's a personification of illusory potency, and she's the wife, his own wife. He never got allured with her. So how is it that he got allured with Mohini Murti? Two things. One is Lord Vishnu had to use his internal potency to draw Lord Shiva to him, to this illusory form. And also, Lord Vishnu wanted to have a playful pastime like this because Lord Shiva wanted to see Mohini Murti. So it's because of those reasons, Lord Shiva, apparently he got attracted to the illusory form. But Lord Shiva is a Dhira. See, in that pastime where after Sati, when she sets fire to herself, Lord Shiva remained by himself. He did not marry anybody. He was in tapasya, he was in meditation. But there was a need for a child from Lord Shiva, the chief or the commander of demigods is Lord Ganesha's brother is Shanmukha, right? So there was a need for a child like that to be the commander of the demigods. But so that's why the Kamadeva comes and tries to induce Lord Shiva so he can be influenced with lust and marry somebody and beget a child. But Lord Shiva, he opened his third eye and then Kamadeva was burnt into ashes. So Lord Shiva is that Dhira. He's not the one to get influenced by the illusory energy. So that's why Lord Shiva was not ashamed, not embarrassed. He was amazed at the potency of his beloved Lord. So this is one pastime. And this is Lord Shiva. Then Mother Bhavani is there and he looks at Mother Bhavani and says, look at this, Bhavani. Did you see? That's my beloved Lord. Look at his potency, how he drew me to himself. So he says that to Mother Bhavani. So in this pastime, one lesson is to say for the sadhakas that the lust can be so strong. So this is a cautionary thing for the sadhakas. But that's one note. And the other thing is to glorify Lord Shiva, that he's not the one to be drawn to the illusory potency, that he's the Dhira. But since the Lord wanted to have a playful reciprocation, and only the internal potency of the Lord could pull Lord Shiva towards the Lord. So without that internal potency, Lord Shiva would not have been allured. So it is to say that Lord Shiva is not allured by external potency, but the Lord had to specially designed and use the internal potency to attract Lord Shiva. So this is to glorify Lord Shiva. Yeah? So that is it, dear devotees. Yeah. Sukadeva Goswami explains this. And in this way, he has described Mohini Murti, how she distributed the nectar and this pastime with Lord Shiva. And this is a chart that we have already seen. This is FYI. After explaining about the Mohini Murti, he gives, yeah, this is very good. We will wind down in a minute. So this is the description of future Manus. We have already seen until 5th, 6th Vaivashvat Manu, right? So this is Vivashvan, the son of Vivashvan, Shraddha Deva. So this is the Manvantara that we are in. And we will only read out this thing. The rest of it is just for the information's sake. Ikshvaku Kulatilaka, that is Lord Rama's dynasty, Ikshvaku. Yeah, they were the Manuputras. So Manu is Vivashvan, whose son is Vivashvan's son, Shraddha Deva. He took up the charge. So that's the Manu. And the Manuputras are Ikshvaku and his brothers. Our Manvantara Avatara is Vamana Deva. Yeah. And we will know more about Vamana Deva in the next class. And Purandara is the Indra. Our Indra is Purandara. Purandara in Vaivashvatama. And who was that Indra's name? Mantradruma, right? In the Kshirasagara Madana, Mantana, Mantradruma. That's Mantradruma. Our Indra is Purandara. And the demigods, Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Vishwadevas, Maruts, Ashwini Kumaras, and Rupus. And the 7 stages of our Manvantara, Kashyapa, Atri, Vasishta, Vishwamitra, Gautama, Jamadagni, Bharadwaj. This is our Manvantara here. And the future Manvantaras are, we'll just read the Manu's names. Sharvani, 8th Manvantara. 9th, Daksha Sarvani. Savarani, not Sharvani. Savarni, sorry. Savarni. So 8th is Savarni. 9th Manvantara, Daksha Savarni. 10th, Brahma Savarni. 11th, Dharma Savarni. 12th, Rudra Savarni. 13th, Deva Savarni. 14th, Indra Savarni. Decided everything. And who are going to be Manuputras, who are going to be the Manvantara avatars, everything decided. Just FYI. The last point is, what is the role of these Manus, Manuputras? Manus and Manuputras are to establish the code of conduct for the Manushyas. Okay? The sages are to establish the Dharma. And the demigods and the sons of Manu are to maintain the, maintain this universal matters and to enjoy the results of the sun. These are the roles of these categories in one Manvantara, starting from Manus to the Manvantaras. Okay. That's all. And he gives a little more information of other avatars of the Lord that came as 4 Kumaras, Dattatreya, like that. That's all, dear devotees, about the Mohini Murti. And in the next one, we will hear about Vamana Deva and Balima. Okay. So we will summarize now the take-home points. Yes. This is a Canto Manvantara, and we are hearing about Mohini Murti and Mohini Murti. So those are the 2 categories, right? Where Mohini Murti appears and gives the nectar, and then the fighting, and then Mohinimurti and Lord Shiva in these. What are the take homes? The first one is, when Mohinimurti, this is take home points from a practical perspective. How the mind can be bewildering, like Mohinimurti, how the asuras very easily, without their knowledge, got so much influenced by the illusory energy. Oh, she's going to come and give the nectar. She's walking that way, but still she'll come and give the nectar. They were under that illusion. And how our mind and our thought is also so much faith in this material world to get the happiness. To get the happiness, we think the happiness will come from this material world, dealings of this. But the actual happiness is when we are reciprocating with our beloved friend, lifetime after their life, always with us, Supreme Lord. When we are reciprocating with Him, that is the deepest happiness, supreme satisfaction. So, because of the illusion, we tend to invest our time, thought, and place our energy there with the material dealings to get the satisfaction. While actual happiness is here in the spiritual dealings with the Lord. This is because of the effect of illusory energy. And the nectar, Mohinimurti comes and gives, And there we have discussed about paravichara, aparavichara. Why should the Lord do this in first place, right? Starting from giving the snake mouse plant till giving all the nectar to only demigods. There, two things we have discussed, based on the rasa and based on the tattva. The rasa is, Lord is Sharanagata Vatsala. Since the demigods come and seek shelter, then the Lord favors those who seek shelter of Him. And the tattva that we have heard is, the Lord is about maintaining the mode of goodness. Whoever is submissive, Lord would favor them. So demigods are submissive, they are in goodness. That's why the Lord favors them. Asuras are not in the submissive mode because they're in the passion and ignorance. And also because the Lord has to maintain the universe. Srushti, Sthiti, Laya. And the Lord's role is Sthiti, to maintain the universe. He has to come up with something where the influence, the tide of ignorance comes down, influence comes down. That influence of ignorance comes down. So that's why He tried the snake mouse plan, use the demigods, use that energy of the ignorance to get the nectar for the demigods who are in goodness, and with that strength, bring down the strength of the ignorance, defeat the demigods that we have heard. And that's about the pastime. And after that, Lord Vishnu disappears, and then war between the demigods and demons happen. And there, one thing we have heard is how Indra, or how the Lord really comes and rescues in so many ways. So many ways. For us, we don't know what kind of challenges that come, right? That come up in so many ways. But the Lord, He's everywhere. He's in the heart. He's the controller. He's the best friend. He would send the help. Exactly the kind of help that we need. We don't know how. We don't know who, through who. We don't know in what form. And we may or may not recognize. And that may be a blessing in disguise. Whatever we cannot comprehend. But the tattva, Bhagavad tattva of the Lord is to give protection to those who are sheltered. That is the tattva of the light. Tattva means nature, dharma. The dharma of the fire is to burn, right? And the dharma of the fire is life. You cannot change it. And the dharma of the water is to wet. We cannot change it. But the dharma of the Bhagavan is karuna. We cannot change it. We may or may not know. We may see or may not see. We may understand or not. But the dharma of the Bhagavan, karuna, does not change. Yeah, that we have heard. And how Indra, after recovering from the illusory energy with the appearance of the Lord, how he talks to Bali Maharaj. How he says that he is victorious and he can kill Bali Maharaj. So there our take-home point was how Bhakti and Nama helps us to come out of the miseries and gives us a little strength to stand. And as soon as we are picking up the strength on the basis, on the strength of the holy name or Bhakti, we tend to commit aparadhas again. Actually, that's the point, aparadha. Sense gratification, yes, but aparadha is a big thing for dear devotees. It is said that Bhakti is so potent, that it will make all the auspicious changes and just flows through on its own force with one condition, as long as we don't do aparadha. Bhakti is bound to take us back home, back to Godhead, provided we don't do aparadha. That's one thing. But we tend to, as soon as we gain the strength with the mercy of the Nama and Bhakti, we tend to do aparadhas, like Indra was doing there, like that. Yeah. So that's then Bali Maharaj, he was so sober in spite of all these things all done. So the war is done. And now Lord Shiva and Mohini Murti, the most enchanting form. Yeah, the Lord is the most enchanting. However he chooses to come, he's the most enchanting one. Yeah. And how Lord Shiva, how is he is Dhira. And we have understood the pastime in two different levels. And how the Lord Shiva was not embarrassed or ashamed, but amazed at the Lord's, his beloved Lord's potency that we have heard. Yeah, right? That's all. That's all. Yeah. I think we have covered everything. And these are the beautiful prayers of the Lord. And this indicates that the supremacy. Again, when we talk about the supremacy in the transcendental subject matters, Bhagavan says, my devotee is supreme. And the devotee says,
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question, Mataji?
Prabhu, I think, we are going to pause the recording now, and then we will be able to take the question and answers.